Hi, I'm Simon. I'm Brad's dad. Going to speak to Karen today about stuff.
Hi, welcome to Room to Grieve podcast. We're your hosts, Karen and Beck. Grab yourself a cuppa, find a comfortable spot, and we'll journey through grief together.
First of all, can you confirm that you've not been bullied in any shape or form to come on here today?
Just a little tiny bit. No.
Oh, no, you haven't, have you?
No, I haven't been bullied, no.
Yeah, I thought it'd be easier to chat without Beck. Not just emotionally, but we might actually stand a chance of getting a word in edgeways.
Yeah, you know it. You know it.
But
yeah, talk almighty.
Yeah, we really, really appreciate you doing this, Simon, and sharing such difficult topics from a dad's perspective, really. We've heard all about Brad's journey in the past. We've done it on previous podcasts with Beck. Unless there's something particular you want to share of that journey, I just thought it'd be nice to talk about the aftermath.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Because it's like the turmoil and the void of after the funeral, really.
Yeah.
If you want to start there and just...
I don't really know. It's sort of, my brain sort of not shut it out, but I wouldn't even say closed it. It's my memory doesn't remember things, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I can, like Bex, she'll sit there and like for instance, she could imagine Bradley there, like standing there, all his glory. She can imagine that, whereas I can't imagine that.
Right.
I can only see, like if I think of Bradley or Kevin or even Bex, I can see a picture of them. So, for instance, a picture that we've taken previously, that's all I see. I cannot imagine something being there, which is, Sydney's the same. She's identical. She cannot do the same. So when it comes to sort of replaying parts of stuff that's happened, it's not always there, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So like I could pick out from the funeral, for instance, I can travel all the way back to from the church to the creme, but then in the creme there's only certain things that my brain can pick up. So for instance, walking in was quite a blur, if I'm honest. Even people talking, I don't know whether it's grief side of it, I don't know whether it's me or my brain trying to put it into perspective, or trying to not think about it, if that makes sense.
Was you like that before Brad died?
To a point, yes. I've probably throughout my life, Bex says it's not listening, whereas it takes a long time for my brain to register stuff that's happened. Like even day-to-day stuff, something that could happen now and I won't remember it for weeks, and then all of a sudden my brain will go, oh, I remember that.
Right.
And then
okay.
it'll just, I don't know what it is, but I'd probably say since Bradley died, it's only got worse.
Yeah.
And there's just things that I just don't remember. It's really weird, and I hate it. I do generally hate it. Just trying to imagine things that happen from it, even when the kids were little. It takes all my efforts to remember that. And I just wish I could just go, and it's there. You know what I mean? Like Bex is everything. She remembers everything. I don't know how, but she just remembers everything.
We're all different, aren't we? And it might just be a coping mechanism, especially at the moment, that I wish I could not remember some things.
Yeah.
You know, some things are difficult.
In hindsight, I suppose me not having that is not a blessing, because that's the wrong word, but in a way it's not always there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some days I can have a really good day and I can sit and talk about Bradley and not get upset, and I can laugh about it and joke about it with it. You know what I mean? Like talk to people at work or friends or whatever, and my brain remembers everything. And other days, it's like I can't even sort of look at a picture or struggle to say his name. I don't know.
It's strange, isn't it? Because we all have days like that,
Yeah.
and a picture could come up on my phone. You know, them damn memories that come up,
Yeah.
and you can smile.
Yeah.
And then another day, you have to turn it off quick or turn your
exactly
phone over
the same
quick.
picture.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just smacks you in the face like a lead balloon.
Like you say, the same picture.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a strange feeling. Like I've had people say to me, "Oh, how do you feel? How do you?" And you're like, "I can't tell you
Because you don't know.
I don't know. There's no words that can explain how I feel, how you feel, how you know what I mean, how the kids feel. Because I don't think you can.
You can't. You just can't. And people like watching this or listening to us, there's so many people that will get that and they'll say, yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
And it does make you feel less alone, because if you didn't say these things out loud and if you didn't listen to what other people are going through, you drive yourself crazy thinking, why am I like this?
Yeah. Yeah, because I love to be on my own. I'm sure Bex will tell you. Like I could quite easily get in the car, no music, nothing, absolutely no noise at all, and just drive. And I could drive for hours and hours and hours in it. Like Bex will talk the hind legs off a donkey, you know that.
Yeah.
But then on other days, I don't want to be on my own. You know what I mean? It's really, I don't know, it's very hard to explain things.
I think Beck was worried that when she was starting on a walking and she wanted to come with you to walk Kevin.
I will say 12,000 steps today.
Oh,
she's
wow.
Done. Yeah.
That's
Just
brilliant.
today.
Yeah, that's
she's done one.
fantastic.
But yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I think she was worried that she was taking that precious time off you, that you go with Kevin to walk, because that was quite therapeutic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did. Like, Kevin is a pain. We all know that. But it is sort of a nice point where I can maybe try and reflect stuff. I talk to Bradley quite a lot when I'm walking.
Yeah.
Kevin just ignores me, so I don't talk to him anymore. But like, I can not zone out, but I can sort of just think about stuff that I can't think about when I'm around things, even in the house or you know what I mean, the people or whatever. But saying that, it's nice that Bex comes, because we can both have that time, because she needs to be out there, and we need time together, because we sort of, she does her thing, I does my thing, and there's very little time that we spend together. You know what I mean? So it's quite nice that we get that time now, and we're out of the house doing it, so we can talk about stuff that we want to talk about.
Do you just talk about Bradley, or do sometimes you talk about other things?
Other stuff, probably anything really, anything that comes to mind. But sometimes it's just nice just to even be silent with each other.
Yeah.
You know, just to know that she's there, because sometimes it feels, I don't know whether I do feel quite alone sometimes.
Well, yeah,
but I'm sure she does.
It's a very lonely journey, isn't it?
It is.
You could be in a room with 100 people, but you could still feel lonely.
I do. Yeah, 100%. Which I probably have had an element of that throughout our relationship, even as a kid. I could be in a room with many, many people, and I could quite easily be on my own in that room.
Yeah.
But now I sort of more feel alone in that room.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Is it the people that's in the room? Do you feel less alone if you with Brad's friends? Because Brad has so many friends, doesn't he? And
he does, and to be fair, they're all great friends. Yeah, they're all they're great friends. But no, I wouldn't say so much people that I know and love. I wouldn't feel alone in a room like that. But I think if there was a group of us in a room with a lot of other people that I don't particularly know, I know of, you know what I mean, like a party or for instance, or if I was in that room with those people without the ones that I know and love, then I'd struggle probably to involve myself.
Do you think that's tolerance though? Do you think that we've reached a level that we think, do you know what, I can't be bothered with these people?
100%. 100%. I think now, like, I can talk to people and I can't be asked with small talk.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? I'd rather sit. I could sit, I can see you. I can talk to you if I want to.
Yeah.
Why do I want to talk about proxy weather? You know what I mean? It's like, talk about something that's relevant.
Yeah.
You know, what means something. Like, I'm not a very good talker anyway.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think I asked you something once, and as you gave me the answer, thinking, Jesus, is he going to stop?
that all depends how many of them I've had.
Oh, right, okay.
If I'm honest. But yeah, no.
No, you was actually, you were sober. It was a lunchtime, and me and Beck was it, and you come back, and I said, oh, let's ask Simon's point of view. And you didn't stop. And when you're out of the room, I went, I'm not asking him again.
It depends what mood I'm in.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Or if I listen, Bex will definitely relate to that. If I listen, then I like to put my point across.
Yeah.
More so now, like probably before Bradley died, or even before I was ill, I'd probably just sit and just not really, you know what I mean, and not really interact a great deal, unless I had quite a few beers. But now, if I'm interested in something or interested in the conversation, then yes, I could quite easily fall into a conversation. You know what I mean? But
that's a positive, right? We sort of contradict ourselves, doesn't it? I think it has to be the right company, though, doesn't it, to do that?
Yeah, right company. And probably right conversation. Like I was at work a couple of weeks back, and I just had a 3-month review, and my boss was like, "You're doing really well. Wow. Okay, yeah, brilliant." It was like some of the lads say, one day you're quiet, like really quiet, you don't talk, and then another day you're really talkative. And I sort of tried to explain to him, like, because some days I'm up and some days I'm down, which obviously you know, and some days I don't want to be in that situation. I have to go to work.
Yeah.
But I'm quite happy to shut myself down because I haven't got the headspace. And I just, some days, like even just talking to somebody about meaningless rubbish or listening to somebody talking about meaningless, like everybody has their own things in their life and the way they structure their life, they like, I feel really stressed because I've got to take the dog for a walk and I've got to cook the dinner. And you know anything? You have no idea.
No idea.
No idea at all. I'd love nothing more than to sit
just
and do
have
that with
stress.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You did put yourself under a lot of pressure because going back to work, you actually changed your job as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I went back probably, I think it was 6 weeks after Bradley died. I went back to work. 12 months I did, and then I changed my job.
I thought it was less than that, actually.
No, it was. No, I think it was 12 months. It might have been less.
I mean, for somebody who doesn't like change,
I hate change.
For everything that you've been through.
Yeah, it's a big thing, change.
Yeah, it's massive.
I don't take well to change. I'm quite happy to sit in my comfort zone quite easily. So for me to change job, it's just completely out there.
Yeah.
But I've done it. And then I sit there and think, well, it's just change, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, real change, there's no words for, but you know what I mean?
Well, it's out of our control. What we went through, the change that we went through as families was out of our control. But the work thing was in your control. But
exactly.
You still had the confidence and the energy, because energy is a massive thing, isn't it? I don't know about you, I felt like we lost that. The energy was kicked out of us. We just had, felt like we had nothing left in us.
Yeah. And saying that, I would say sort of, yes, like some days I just didn't want to get out of bed, like, because you just, whatever. But with the kids, they've been brilliant. Like, I think if they weren't around, I don't know, they've sort of kept me going, really. But then I sort of talked to Bradley and, you sit there and think, what would Bradley do? And I don't want Bradley to look down on me and go, you know what I mean?
What are you doing, Dad?
What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I want to make the most of everything because he can't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, you do things to honour him, don't you? With the car.
Yeah, I've got the car.
You enjoy that.
I do like, I do. It scares me.
Why does it scare you?
Just because of what it is. Like, no one else drives it. Although I'm trying to convince Zachary to drive it. But it's sort of, because it is what it is, it's Bradley's car. Bradley's dream car at that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of time gone into that car to make it what it is. And I take it down the road and something happens. That's the, you know what I mean? That's why it scares me.
Do you take it to shows as well?
Yeah, not so much this year. I need to do some work on it. But yeah, we take it to local shows.
But do people actually come and touch the car? Are the people allowed that close at these shows?
Yeah, come and touch it, leave the windows open.
Does that not bother you?
Not for car show wise, because people who go to car shows respect the car. So they'll take their picture with the car, they'll talk about the car, they'll ask questions about the car. But you tend to find that people get close, but not close as in damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are very respectful.
Yeah.
A car is something that A to B, but then a car that you love, doesn't matter what it is and how much it costs, because that's your precious thing. You know what I mean? And people in that group respect other people's...
They're like-minded, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we used to do, going off subject, well, it's not really off subject, we used to do bike shows where Rob would take one of his bikes.
Did he have a cordoned off area?
He set it up, and this lady come through with a buggy with a kid in it, and the kid's like, anyway, right, I'm going.
The thing is, I can actually see him doing it.
He got, excuse me, love, your kid can't touch me bike. It's like, we had to pack up and go. So I could just imagine. So you're a bit more chilled out because you know the people there. You know, no. But so your main worry is that if you're driving it along, you might have a bump or something like that. That's
basically.
I never ever thought of that before, but I can imagine.
It's sort of like, because I could never replace that car.
No,
you know what I mean. And the work that's been carried out on it, for me to rectify if anything happened to it, would cost quite a lot of money.
Yeah, and an insurance company wouldn't know the sentimental value of that car.
No. I want to take it to more shows next year. I want it to be sort of people. When we took it out, not last year, this year, the year before, people tend to get the story. A lot of people knew it was Bradley's car, and what it meant to the family. And obviously, we've not been out much in it this year.
Does that help you, Simon? When you've got the car there as like a prop, can you talk about Brad's story easier?
I find it easier.
Yeah, it's like it helps you. You've got something to refer to, and you can. If it gets a little bit too emotional, you can move back to the car and say, "Oh, and we did this," So it's like a bit of a distraction. Yeah,
you can sort of talk between the two, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bradley helped do this, or we did this together, and now we carried it on for Bradley. And
yeah.
But yeah,
and
it's definitely...
what if the car wasn't there? would you be able to talk to a stranger about Bradley? Would you be able to bring the subject up and talk about him?
Yes and no.
Right. In the right situation.
In the right situation, yes, definitely.
So that's good. That is so good, because Rob can't even say Emily's name.
No, bless him.
And he wouldn't be able to instigate a conversation.
If I'm honest, when my head's in the right area, I love talking about Bradley.
Yeah.
Because it was Bradley. Like, he didn't really give a shit. He gave a shit about other people. But
yeah.
He didn't really. He was so, well, you probably heard, but we used to call him Mr. Horizontal because he was just so not bothered about anything. And I love to tell people that his background and what he used to do and how well he did in his life. It's just shitty fucking cancer come along and took it all away. But then I sort of think he had a life. Yes, it was very short, like Emily, it was very short, but they had a life and everybody needs to know about that.
Yeah. That's to talk about that life and not talk about their illness. I mean, if you had a choice of talking about the life before cancer or talking about cancer, you'd choose the life before any time, wouldn't you? You just, to get that across, to get little things which are just probably mean nothing to anybody else, but to share them are so good to share.
Yes, definitely. And I think it's for the brain it's good as well because it not keeps them alive, but it reminds you of how great they were and how great the times were. Because, I don't know, when Bradley fell ill, I'm sure you feel, I don't know whether you feel the same about Emily, but I know there was still Bradley, but it wasn't true Bradley, if that makes sense. Because the cancer took over every day-to-day life. You know what I mean?
It was the meds, wasn't it, as well? The meds affected them.
Steroids.
Yeah. The anti-seizure drugs, people don't know all this, but the anti-seizure drugs can make them depressed and anxious. They had social anxiety.
Like Bradley never, ever had anxiety, ever. But probably after the last Christmas, I have never, ever, I get anxiety sometimes. But the anxiety the drugs give you and just the cancer gave him was, I've never seen it in anything ever. It took every part of our lives, his life, and everything. Just, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like we did loads of things. Like the things we did with Bradley and what Bradley actually managed to achieve was incredible. There's no way these things you'd be able to do what we did. I don't even know it's still to this day how we actually did them, but that was dreams that came true, you know?
Yeah.
Those memories I'll never forget.
No.
But then
you feel it's bittersweet because you feel proud that you made those dreams happen, and all the fundraising that people did, they all supported Brad. You made those dreams happen, but you shouldn't have to have done that.
Shouldn't have had to do that.
You shouldn't have had to have made false dreams because you should have had them. But
through his life, he should have had another 50, 60, 70 years to make those dreams.
Yeah.
And enjoy those dreams and remember those dreams. But I'm thankful for everybody that helped fundraise and think everything that we managed to achieve with Bradley. But I do wish that we didn't have to ask those people for that.
I know. I feel like that.
Shit.
It is shit. Yeah. It's this. I mean, there's things that are so when you look back and think of all what you did achieve, and he had some bloody good days out.
Oh yeah.
And he loved his red pandas, didn't he? And we've got to keep bringing those things to mind, haven't we? Because there's some days we wake up and they're pretty shit days, aren't they? You can wake up with anxiety and you know straight away, this is going to be with me all day today.
Yeah.
And do you have anything, if you wake up like that, which I know you probably do the same as me, can you get yourself out of it, or is it in for the day?
I think I'm quite angry person. Not angry at things. So if I wake up, I know when I wake up if it's going to be a shit time or a good day. But
do you get angry with yourself that you feel angry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how to describe it. It's probably not anger, but I get frustrated with things very, very easily. A lot more than I was always bad anyway, but a lot more now.
Yeah.
And I sort of hate myself for that because it's not very nice for other people.
No, it's not nice for other people.
When they're trying to help, but all I do is sort of put them down, or you know what I mean. But going back to what you said, I think some days I can, but I just have to immerse myself in something that's not meaningless, but
easy.
Like if I get my head stuck in something that I enjoy, I could probably pull myself out of that anxiety or that feeling. But it is quite difficult. But then on those days when I feel like that, or feel when it's a shit day, I can quite easily fall back into it. But
does anything trigger off the shit days? Can it be an anniversary or a lead up to anniversary?
No.
Or no, they just come with no warning.
But then I could get up in the morning and like today, we had a really nice day today, but then all of a sudden it can just turn completely on its head and I can feel just shite.
Do you think that could be a bit of guilt that you have had a good time and then it's like
possibly
it hits you?
Yeah, possibly.
Shit, why am I having a good time? I shouldn't be having a good time. My son's not here.
Yeah, that is a possibility. I've not really thought about that, to be fair, but I do think like when we do have family get-togethers and things, I do sit there and go, I have to deep breathe it, you know?
Yeah.
And sort of go...
Yeah, because something could be said. We went for breakfast the other week. I think it was raining, so Rob didn't go shooting, so we met our friends for breakfast, who you've met.
Yeah.
And when we got there, Rob said, "Oh, we've got full house today." Because I was there as well. I don't usually go. I'm thinking, we'll never have a full house.
No.
We'll never be a full house again.
Right.
Now, I could have quite easily, that could have ruined my day. I didn't let it because I thought, I can't let it because Rob would be so devastated that he had said that and it had such an impact on me. Yeah. So it's not only...
But then that's good because you've managed to control
it. You can't control it every day.
No.
But you're probably the same and you don't even realise you're doing it because you will hold back from saying something because you wouldn't want to upset Beck or the kids.
Yeah.
And it's still in you. No?
Yeah.
No,
sometimes.
Would it just come out?
It'd probably just come out, if I'm honest, but yeah.
Really?
They'll all tell you though, like, that could be it can just come out.
People don't mean to upset us and people do say the wrong things, but we'd say the wrong things to each other as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's only to be expected.
It's always going to be that though, isn't it? It's always going to be.
Because you could say that one day and it wouldn't affect you, and you could say something, the same thing another day, and straight away it'd be straight to the heart of the... You think, why have you said that?
Yeah. It's just unexplainable, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
But it's also unexplainable that there's little glimmers of hope. Like, say like when I was in Spain, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really good.
It was a distraction. We were together. We didn't have to... You didn't have to make excuses for when we was feeling low and when we was feeling quiet. It was... I mean, you said about Beck being, you're quiet. I'd actually think she was hungover and she didn't want to tell us.
She was definitely hungover. Definitely hungover.
But, that was the impact. She's admitted to me it was the impact of the alcohol because she's not used to drinking.
She's not. Yeah, she doesn't really drink anymore.
It weren't just a hangover. It was the feeling that alcohol can bring on. It can make you depressed, can't it?
It can, 100%. And some days I can sit, I can have a couple of beers and, you know what I mean? But then other days, enjoy it. But other days, you have a beer or whatever and Bex will go, you're not right today. And that's obviously the day after. Because I do think alcohol does affect grief in a way that you can't explain. And I can feel it. You know what I mean? A couple of beers or whatever, I get up in the morning and I know if I hadn't drunk, I wouldn't feel like it. Which is weird but people turn to drink for many reasons. And is that why you keep drinking? Because we all know hangovers are horrible, but you get up in the morning and you feel like shite. So it's just a revolving circle.
Yeah.
So
but also, if you wake up and you feel like shite, you've got something to blame it on, and you can think, "Oh, it's the alcohol."
Yeah.
So, and when usually it's not, and maybe feeling shite from the alcohol is easier than feeling shite from the grief. Yeah.
True.
And it's just an excuse, isn't it? And
yeah. Do you get pains?
Not as much as Rob and Beck. I know Beck gets shoulder pains and no, I get more anxiety than pain.
Yeah.
I get the feeling really hot and not like
you didn't before. You know
no,
what I mean?
I never got that before.
Yeah.
No, I never got anxiety before.
It's weird, isn't it? I never imagined grief to be like it is.
Physical and mental.
Physical. Yeah. The physical pain you get is...
It's frightening.
It's scary. It's something else. I don't know if everybody goes through that or what level of grief you get that. Or is it just grief?
I think both men and women get the physical pain. I know Rob gets the physical pain, but I think that's because he holds his pain in. He holds his grief in, and he doesn't deal with it the same as others. I mean, it was funny, going back to anger, he was talking about, I was actually sat in the office and we have a big glass window and the workshop's there, and on Friday, a wishbone flying out of it's a great big piece off a car, for anybody who doesn't know, just come flying out of the workshop and you've just thrown it. I thought, right, I better order another one.
Yeah, that's me. That is me.
I can actually picture you doing that as well. Yeah,
but it happens in a split second.
Yes,
literally,
your brain
just
goes. Yeah,
and you and then afterwards you're like,
why did I do that?
Why have I done it? You know? Yeah, you just can't control that.
No, he actually slammed a car door once that hard that he set an airbag on. Did you really need to do that? He went, yeah, I did. Yeah. I did. Right at that moment, yes, I did.
Yes, I did, yeah. Now, probably not. But then...
Now, I'm regretting it. Absolutely, wholeheartedly regretting it.
Because
it was a car sales, which was going the next day. And I don't think that's just a man thing. I think women can have the anger just the same.
Yeah. But then I think that's probably your body just having to have that moment of relief. And expression, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely that lash out is sort of like it eats you and eats you and eats you and it just has to come out.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, you can't stop it.
No, because I've always kicked things and kicked not people.
You sure about that?
Well, the odd one.
Random kick halfway down the street.
Yeah. And I used to kick bins. It's like in my mind now, because I've known that if I kicked a pedal bin and then what the contents were in the bin, would then be all over the room and I'd have to go back and put them all in the bin and clean up. So part of it is controlled because now I look for something to kick that isn't going to cause destruction and me to have to tidy it all up. So I look for an easier kickable object.
Rob?
No, I won't kick Rob. No. I've kicked a door, I've kicked a kitchen door, kicked it right through. Solid wooden door.
Probably choose a pillow. Pillow wouldn't
Doesn't
hurt.
have the same impact. And it's rubbish having slow closure doors because you can't slam them.
Can't slam.
No, that pleasure's been taken away. So yeah, it's not a competition, is it, between men and women who we just grieve different.
Yeah.
But that's common sense because we are different. We cope with things different.
But then I think even male to male is different, and female to female is different, as well as male to female. Because we're
all different.
Everybody's different, and your brain processes things in such a different way to somebody else that your grief journey, if you like, is always going to be different to somebody else's. And like, people stand there and noise the shit out of me. So if anyone's listening, don't tell me this. It gets easier as time goes by. How the fuck can it? It can't.
No.
And it doesn't, because
we're missing more.
That period from when they died is getting further and further away since you'd last seen them. And that, to me, is never, ever going to be easy and ever get any better.
No, because you've also got all the secondary losses in that period as well.
Yeah.
There's things that, like Bradley's friends will be getting married, having kids. There's always going to be something.
Probably more or less every day, isn't it?
Yeah.
There'll always be something out there that will hit home, that even walking down the street, Bradley or Emily should be there doing that.
Yeah. And that makes, I think that has, it makes issues with relationships. And, like, we've got friends with children at the same ages.
Yeah.
And they will be awkward with us, not wanting to tell us things, not wanting to share things.
But then, do you want to hear about those things?
With some of them, yeah. Others, no.
Yeah.
But we don't have a choice as to who shares with us and who doesn't.
Yeah.
And on some days we can share, and on other days we can't. It's not just the individual. It's not just the other family. It's us. It's how we feel on that given day.
Yeah, I agree.
How's your family life changed? Like you've said before, the kids were fantastic. They cope with things better. You must have a newfound, you must be so proud of them.
Yeah.
For something you shouldn't have to have been proud of.
Yeah, I've always been proud of them because they're great kids, they're great people, they're great adults now, and they do amaze me, the things they do. But to go through what they've had to go through, the support they've given us and the support they've given each other, it's just immense. Like, you think, in a way, they crash and burn, if that makes sense. Like their brothers died, but they've really not embraced it. It's a long word.
They're inspirational, aren't they?
Yeah, and they've really took it and trying to do things. Like Morgan, she's with her special needs and things. She's really tried to do stuff with her life. Yeah, they're just brilliant. I
was amazed with Morgan when we did the podcast.
Yeah.
Morgan in particular, I expected it of Sydney because I know Sydney better, and
Sydney's a talker like her mum.
She's capable, yeah. But Morgan, the points that Morgan made, astounded me. I thought, we should be more Morgan. This girl has got it. She's
very. I suppose before Bradley was ill, I know she's a bit older now, but like she'd be quite quiet and sit in a room and not interact with things, But now she wants to be involved. She wants to do things. She wants to do whatever she can. Yeah, she's just Zachary's doing really well at work. Sydney's doing really well at work around home. They are inspirational.
When you know how you feel inside, I think it's difficult for me to put myself into Niall's shoes because I don't want to feel what he must feel. It scares me.
Yeah.
And I think I know how bad I feel. I don't want him feeling that bad as well.
Yeah.
Because we know as we can offer support, we can talk, we can do this, but it's such a lonely journey because everybody's relationship with the person they've lost is so unique. You'll never, ever be on the same level, the same standing. So we're all different and we all grieve differently. We can only help each other so much.
Yeah, we can.
It scares me that I can't help my own son.
I think as long as you make him aware that you're there to support him, it's like ours. Like they know that if they want to talk, we're here to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we've lost a child. They've lost their brother, their sister.
Do you think it makes it easier that they've got each other?
In a way, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think because they've always been close. They've always bonded quite well. They've always done stuff together. But I think because they've got each other, they can bounce stuff off each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if one's down, the other one can try and help pick them up. Whereas obviously Niall's on his own.
I'm not saying it's worse for now because he hasn't got siblings.
No, but
I'm just saying
I know
it's another difference, isn't it?
Yeah,
in grief,
they can bounce off each other like they always have done, and they can talk to each other on a level that we could probably never talk to them.
Yeah.
Whereas Niall's, he's on his own, so if he wants to talk, he's got to talk to you or Rob or a family member that is not their brother and sister, which is, I think you get that bond that you can't ever replace.
Mm-hmm. What I was going to ask you, I know like when Becca's told me that you're having a bad day or you're struggling over a certain thing, if I tell Rob that you're having a bad day, I think that affects him as well, but in a different way. I think that's when he would text you. Are you the same if Beck tells you that Rob's having... Is it like an instinct that you want to try and help?
Yes. Like if Beck says, oh, Rob's struggling today or he's having a bit of a shit day, I will message him and just try and...
About something different.
Try and bring him, not... I hate using words like it, but bring him back into the world.
Here and
you know
now.
What I mean?
Into the here and now, yeah.
Yeah. Which I know if I'm feeling shitty, if I get something from Rob or a friend, it helps, because you don't feel on your own.
Or it's a distraction.
From whatever you're going through at that point. But then I have sort of, if I do feel a bit shitty, I do now try and make an effort to talk to Bradley. And I'm starting to find that is helping to try and get me out of that shitty position. I don't think the shitty position is the fact that Bradley's died, or I think it's just everything builds up on top of you, I think. The grief side of it is all I want to do is talk to him, see him and talk to him.
Hold him,
smell him, just anything. And I find when I'm in shit place because of that. If I talk to him, I know he's not going to talk back to me, which I'd love nothing more, which I'm sure everybody is. But I feel if I talk to him, I feel like I'm with him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that helps.
Do you cry when you talk to him?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I do.
Not every time.
Do you talk to him about nonsense, about day at work, about
just everything?
Yeah,
just anything. I ask him opinions.
Just helps, doesn't
should
it?
I do this? Yeah, I think I do it, maybe hoping that he'll reply to me in some sort of way, which I know he has. I take it that he has at some point, and which is nice, which I really like.
Just some little signs get you through each day sometimes, don't they?
Little things like
a robin,
anything,
yeah.
A white feather.
Yeah,
you know?
We're easy to please, aren't we? We don't.
You know what I mean? Anything.
You don't expect a lot, do we?
The trouble is now I find myself driving down the road, and I'm looking at every single car coming the other way, waiting for Brad on the number plate, because I've seen it a few times now. It's like, I will see another one. I will see another one. And you think, I need to concentrate on where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, any sign, like I see, I think it was Q5 the other day. I forgot to tell you. I don't think I've told Bex. And it was a purple Q5, which I've never seen a purple Q5 ever. And it had, I can't remember what the first bits were, but the end bit was just, all I could see was M. That's it. E and M at the end. Everything else was irrelevant. And
yeah.
you know, I see you. I got you. And so the signs from Emily as well, it's like, it's just really nice because I know that they're sort of watching.
Yeah.
They know when you need it. You know what I mean? And
yes. Yeah. They know you get more when you need them signs, you get more signs.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I do. If we're going mental, it doesn't matter, does it? It gets us through another day.
Exactly.
Yeah, couldn't care less. We've gone beyond caring what people think.
Yeah, and I was always sort of like, not so much, I never really care what people think of me, what you do, you know what I mean? But now I'm like, I care.
Yeah.
Really, if you don't like me, don't talk to me. I really don't care. You know what I mean? I love the people that are around me and my friends, and they're just amazing people.
Yeah.
It's just like other people just I couldn't care less about.
No, it's
really bad, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Really
It's like unless you're in our club, you have to really work hard to get past. To get into our shell that we put around us.
Yeah, and you say that like a shell. You do, don't you?
Yeah.
You put yourself in that shell that only you can open that shell. It's really hard for somebody to come into that. And I do feel when I'm in a shitty mood, that shell, as you said, is quite protective. But even for Bex to get into that shell when I'm in that mood is quite difficult.
Well, you're probably protecting her or you think you're protecting her as well.
Yeah.
That when you're in that shell, if you let out what's inside you, you would upset her and bring her down. Maybe.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly.
If I was really upset and I needed to talk to somebody, I would probably talk to Beck before I'd talk to Rob.
Because
I know I don't want to upset him.
Yeah.
Especially if he's having a good day. I don't want to bring him down. But there are some times when you can't hold it in and something
comes out. You just can't. Yeah.
But it was something we was watching, things we used to watch with Emily, and it's hard sometimes to watch those same things on TV, and somehow, without thinking, we put something on. It's a really stupid programme. It's Death in Paradise, right? It's naff. The acting is appalling, but we all used
sounds it. If I'm honest.
Yeah, it's really crap. But it's so crap. It was compelling viewing. We had to watch it, and we loved it. And we used to do this silly dance to the beginning. Da, 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 da. She's done it. She's murdered him. It's her. And we had this little thing going together. And I sort of automatically did this thing, and I stopped and I started crying, and we had to put the thing on pause, and we just sat and sobbed for about half an hour. There was no holding that in. It was an automatic reaction that I did, and then I regretted it so much because it hurt. It was just sad, really, really sad. And
which is quite. You shouldn't feel sad. I know you feel sad because
we've watched them all since because we did that. I think by doing that, getting it out, getting our feelings out, it helped so much. And then we binge watched it every night. Are we watching A Death in Paradise? Yeah. Even the repeats, they're not even new. We know who's done it. We know who's murdered it. But we just sat there then.
But that's really nice because you can relate to it, and you sort of bringing Emily back into the room with you.
Yeah, but I can't watch Top Gear yet.
No,
and I struggle with Clarkson's Farm.
Yeah.
There's just certain things that there's got to be something that triggers us. We might cry again, like we did, and then we'll be able to watch it.
See, we used to watch Fast and Furious films quite a lot. Always, we've probably watched all of them 20 times. And then when the new one came out, just after Bradley died, I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I just couldn't do it.
No. Have you not watched it yet?
I have watched it now.
You have, right.
For about 3 months ago, I put it on and watched it. But, you sit there and I'm watching it, and I'm actually halfway through it. And you know anything? I bet you're glad you're not watching this.
Right. So that made it a bit easier.
It made it a bit easier. It's what... If it was really, really good, it would have been really hard. But it took me a long while to watch that. There's certain things that crop up that we used to watch or we used to do, and that's really hits you home. Like your Death in Paradise. It's just like that moment.
It's like a knife going in sometimes. Yeah. That's when that is when I get the physical pain that you mentioned. Yeah, it's almost like pain in the heart. And that's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah.
I agree completely. And it's such a pain that is not a pain.
Yeah.
You
can't go and have a paracetamol for it.
You know what I mean?
It's like, no.
But I never thought grief would be painful.
No.
Like physically painful.
Yeah. So moving forward in our life, which we've no other choice. Everybody else's lives are going on all around us. And we've got to move forward. I think me and Beck we're like the queens of distraction. Like, if I'll wake up one morning and I'm not that busy, I only have to open my emails WhatsApp messages from her, and all of a sudden I'm very, very busy.
Busy.
Yeah. Did she give you as many jobs? Or is this the not listening? Do I need to not listen like you?
This is the not listening.
Ah, right. Need some tips on that.
She probably tells me every day, can you do this? Can you do this? Gone. Not a chance.
Right. So I need to be more Simon, really. It's not be more Morgan. No, it's be more Simon and think, listen. Do you know what? I've never heard you saying that, Beth. Yeah, but she puts it in writing to me. She highlights it. Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah. No, the thing on the book, she highlighted everything I need to do on certain chapters on the book we've written, and I've done you in blue, and I'm like, all right, okay. And then my first excuse was, I couldn't remember which was my colour. Couldn't remember. She said, well, it's blue. You like blue. You only wear blue. Why would I not do your blue? I've remembered now. So I've run out of excuses. But anyway, she keeps us on our toes, doesn't she?
Bless her. But I am proud of both of you for doing what you're doing. I just want to say that because it's hard talking to people you know about things.
Yeah.
And when you talk to people that you don't know, the people that are listening to you that you don't know are listening, and saying what you guys say is just, I think it's a massive relief for a lot of people. So I just want to hats off to both of you.
Yeah. Well, as you know, it is our therapy.
Yeah.
I can be having a really, really bad day, and I never ever think, "Oh, I've got to do a podcast now." I always think, "Oh, I know I'll feel better after I've done it."
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever think you'd have therapy?
Funnily enough, I did sit there last week. I felt like I'd had a difficult week. Me and Bex argued a bit. I spent a lot of time down, very, very down. And I sat there and thought to myself, you really need to do something about this. You need to talk to somebody, or not necessarily for my sake, but for Bex, the kids' sakes. So they've got their own grief journey. They shouldn't have to go through my grief journey as well as their own, because it's hard enough going through your own, trying to navigate somebody else. So yes, I did sit there last week and thought, I do need to really think about speaking to somebody.
Yeah.
It might not help.
It's worth a try though, isn't it?
It's worth a try. And I think if anybody going through grief, everything is worth a try.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult, no matter what you do or say. It's always going to be difficult.
And what works for one person might not work for... There's no one size fits all, is there?
No, exactly.
Can you imagine trying to give Beck therapy?
I feel sorry for the therapist, if I'm honest. Imagine. I don't want to even imagine. I know.
She's been second guessing him. I know why you're saying that. You're saying that because you want me to answer this, or this. And
analyse everything.
Analyse everything.
And then come back.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah.
And you're wrong there. We do give a sun stick.
It's good.
I mean, it's nice that you even, if you consider, you might never go and have therapy. You might not need it. It might come as a blessing, and that you thought, bloody hell, why didn't I do this ages ago? But the fact that you've acknowledged it, and that it wouldn't just help you, it could help the rest of the family, is massive.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because I think Rob needs it for anger. I think anger at the world, anger at people that are happy.
See, I'm angry at the world, but I tend to be angry at everything. Yeah, I think Rob does, as a friend, he really needs to talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He does come across quite angry sometimes, which is probably not his fault.
No. You can't help it, can you? You can't pick and choose your feelings. No. Yeah. I can't help talking. I can't help talking about her to everybody. There isn't a customer that's not been in this week that's not heard about her. I've been on form this week. Leaflet? Would you subscribe, please? Like and share.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's double. Service double.
Yeah, service double.
That's your coping mechanism, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
That's the way you want to be close to them. So you say, like, I said I'll get angry. Do you ever feel angry, like, at things, at the world, at anything?
No.
Right?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I'm forgetting things, but no, I just feel sadness. I just feel sad.
Yeah.
I hate thinking. My main thing that I do still keep going back to, which I've got to work on, is how much they suffered. I don't feel angry about that even. I just feel sad about that they had to go through it.
Yeah.
Whereas, again, Rob feels angry about that.
Angry, yeah. No person, it's never going to stop, but no person, our children, should never have had to go through that.
No.
Like, I'm sure Emily was the same. Bradley was so cheery, typical Bradley, not bothered, you know what I mean? And didn't put any stress on from himself onto anybody else. And for him to do that must have been horrendous, because the pain he must have been in. And like he couldn't walk, he could hardly see, let alone talk. For him to hold all that in and hold it together really just broke my heart.
Yeah.
That
they had to do it.
They had to do it, but then I do feel proud of him because he dealt with it so well. And I know I probably wouldn't have dealt with it that way if it was me. But then I think because of the way he was, I think that also helped us.
Yeah.
With helping him.
Yeah.
You know?
Very, I know exactly what you mean by that. It was like, God, this sounds awful to say. It sounds really, really awful to say, but it's like, I can't imagine it happening to another, to Niall. I don't think Niall would have dealt with it in the same way. It's like, it picked Emily because Emily could deal with it, and Emily carried us through the whole journey with everything she went through. And I know Bradley was the same because Beck has told me that. Yeah,
I do feel the same.
The inner strength that they had,
just amazing.
We can only be. I keep trying to think to take the sadness away, that pride has got to take over the sadness. That's the way that I'm dealing with it.
Yeah.
Because we can't be in the sadness 100% of the time. It would finish us off, and that wouldn't achieve anything.
No.
And they would not want that.
Yeah.
But if we can just acknowledge that, Jesus Christ, they were strong.
Yeah.
They was funny, they were strong, they was capable, they took everything that was handed to them and dealt with it.
Yeah.
And on that journey, they carried us as well.
Yeah, they did.
And they did. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no two ways. Like, if he wasn't the way he was, I think it would have just fell apart because of the devastation. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because he was so strong internally and just kept going, just didn't even question it, that just accepted the fact that he had cancer, and every day was a bonus for him, you know.
Even the hair falling out. I mean,
radiotherapy, it's like when you actually watch the radiotherapy, it's just, my God, you know what I mean? But he didn't even bat an eyelid.
No.
Just did it. Did it.
Yeah.
Come on, carry on. You know, now I sit there and I think they must have just...
To get them in the car to go to the radiotherapy, you'd think, shitting hell, you know, like you think... And I think, God, we've got to go, right? We've got to go for this radiotherapy. She come down. For the first thing she went, do you like this outfit, Mum? Is this all right?
Yeah.
And,
you know what I mean?
And I'm like, yeah, you look really nice, darling. And she went, right, we're ready. Come have McDonald's on the way when we're finished. Yeah. You know, when we come out on the way home, come have McDonald's, and this is what I want. And I'm like, yeah. Thinking, oh my God.
It's just, like, you know what I mean?
And they understood. It's not like they were young children that didn't understand.
They understood it. They understood everything.
What was happening, why it was happening, and they also understood they weren't going to be cured.
Yeah.
And they still did it.
Just got up every day and did everything.
And did it with such style and such...
But also
funniness.
Being happy. You know, like...
Yeah.
They enjoyed.
She enjoyed Christie's. She loved Christie's.
Yeah.
And she actually said when she'd finished, I wish I was carrying on because it was somewhere to go and I enjoyed it and I loved the people.
Yeah.
So hats off to them. They made it easy.
Yeah.
They made a very, very difficult situation easy. All the staff and the people round her. But at the end of the day, she was doing it. Brad was doing it. They was getting in the car and they were going to have their brains blasted.
Yeah. And didn't even think about it.
No.
You know what I mean?
With God knows how many tablets.
Yeah.
We used to have daft names for the tablets. The big, massive ones. Evil Seagull. Where's the Evil Seagull one? I mean, where'd she come up with that? Yeah. So it's like... Yeah, but she made that up and that got us through doing tablets. And then she'd say something, oh, fucking hell, Mum, I've dropped my tablet. I went, which one? The Evil Seagull. And, we're on the floor looking for the bloody tablet.
She knew which one it was, though. That's the thing,
so, they got us through. We've got to carry on talking to them like we do. If people think we're mental, it doesn't matter because it gets us through another day. And we've got to keep thinking of the bravery, the funniness, the loving, the kindness and everything else. We've got to just keep thinking of them things.
I do think, one thing that does keep me going is Bradley, he had 18 years. And I sit here now, even from the day he died, I sit there and I want to just curl up in a little ball, forget the world and sob my heart out. But I don't. I know he wouldn't be like that. And I want to not be like that for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want him to feel sad because I'm sad, because
we've got to be brave like they were brave.
We have to be brave.
We've got to be, because they could do it. We've got to do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple as that, isn't it?
On a plate, basically.
Yeah. So before we end it, I do think there is another form of therapy that I think you should think about.
Okay.
I've thought about this quite a lot, and I think it's perfect for you. Yeah. And for Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
We're not having a cat, Karen.
Oh, fucking hell. Little Liam. Little Liam's the only one left. It's beautiful. He loves you.
I did think about it.
He's well behaved.
For a little bit. But then, no.
Right, okay, I'm going now then. I'm not interested in you anymore.
Right.
Do you know the tagline?
I do.
Right, go on then, I think, as a guest.
But I can't remember it.
All right.
But do you get that? Do you get brain fog?
Oh, brain fog?
I know it. I know these things, but my brain cannot tell my mouth what to say.
Been in Marks and Spencer's today. This is typical. This is an everyday occurrence of something different today, but tomorrow it'll be something different again. Yeah. £7.57 was my bill. I thought, I've got loads of change. Could I count out 57 pence?
Not a chance.
Not a chance. In the end, I just put all my money. I went, take what you need.
I bet they looked at us and say,
I think, she all right? I said,
you weirdo.
I said, I'm grieving. Like that. With a smile on my face. I bet he thought, she is mental.
She's definitely mental.
This woman has lost it. But I was laughing because I knew Emily would be laughing at me.
Yeah.
For God's sake, Mum, you can't even count.
But then you can you can see her kind of just go, really? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really
That's
good.
what we've got to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, I thought of it then and I've lost it. It's gone.
Okay, grab yourself a cuppa.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Grab yourself a cuppa, find a comfortable spot and we'll journey through grief together.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Simon.
No, thank you.
Thank you.